So in my last video, I took a look at these four indexes. Now we're going to go into stocks. So here what we're going to do is the same thing. Just go through them all and see if we can come up with some kind of ideas. Let's start with Apple. Apple, these are the levels that we put in our previous videos that we made on Apple, and I'm just going to leave them here as is briefly. This is all-time high, lower high, lower high. Here was our lower high, and then when we made lower low, another lower low, here we rallied and we broke above this previous high, which means that the stock has made a higher high, and basically what we're looking for here is for it to come back and hold this area here. Now, with a strength like this, and knowing Apple can easily go on like this for a long time, and we don't need to go far. And here is the rally that we had in Apple from March into July and August highs without any major pullbacks. Stock went from 143 and let's say here 196, and we can keep going indefinitely. I'm going to grab my favorite tool here and see where we go from here to here. 7%. Apple is super strong. Do not short Apple. And if this thing comes back and holds this level, it's definitely a buy right here, because we made a higher high and now we expect that it's going to make a higher low, and from there it will move up and maybe challenge the all-time high. It doesn't make any sense chasing this stock. Yes, of course, it could be this situation where you don't get any pullbacks. All you get is just a few points, okay? But it's better to get a small pullback or wait until it pulls back, see how it holds, and get in than to just jump in because the stock is going up. If we miss it, well, there always will be another opportunity. Okay, our next stop. Let's do Microsoft. Microsoft made its all-time high on Friday, closing up 9 points, 2.4% when it gets the purple crown. Purple line goes to every stock that makes it all-time high. So next time, if we pull back, we can always see how far we need to go in order to get to this point. So let me show you how it was last time. So let's say this is our previous all-time high. And if we're trading here, 330, and if you move it down, you'll see the line. It shows you, no matter where you are, you can kind of have a visual on where all-time high is. So all-time high closing price was about 359. November 10th, it finally closed above that all-time high it traded to earlier, and we take Triple Crown. Really, really good job for Microsoft. Now, what do you do with stocks like this? Well, same thing as you did before. You wait for a pullback. How much of a pullback can you get? Here, 13%, 9%, 5%. I want to be the guy who bought it at the top and saw it fall out of the sky from all-time highs. Boom, 14%. So Microsoft does not give you big pullbacks. You know, if it comes in 5, 10%, maybe it's a good value, but all that depends. And in any case, for Microsoft, it has to come in. All the people who bought the stock in this area right here back in July, who waited for the price to come back all this time, they finally got their chance to get out. It blew its top off. This looks like a big short covering. And no matter what Microsoft does, you do not want to short it because you don't know how far this thing can go. We wait for a pullback, we get in at the good price, and we stay for the next ride. If you're in it now, enjoy the ride. So our next stop is NVDA. Okay, this is a weekly chart for NVIDIA. Previous all-time high was on November 2021. Then after that, we went down for about a year. And the stock lost 68%. Wow. This is one of the reasons that you don't want to buy all-time highs. You know, at some point in time, they pull back, they all pull back. There's no way that the stock can go up forever. At some point, it will pull back. Now, we spend a year in the sell-off, in a huge downtrend, lose 70% of its value. The stock bottoms out here October 10th, 2022, a year and 1 month ago, and it is up 335% in the last year. It is up 20% in the last week because this thing is sitting near its all-time highs. It is super strong. It's in the industry that provides chips for the artificial intelligence industry, which is booming right now. We simply have no idea how far this thing can go, but one thing that we can tell is that at some point, this stock will reverse. It will pull back and it will give us a chance to get in. So let me just go to a shorter term frame and show you what I'm talking about. We are going to our daily chart. We had the earnings here back in May and gapped up 25%. We have another earnings coming up here in less than 2 weeks. When I was looking at NVIDIA last time, I thought it would trade in this range. But it looks like with the overall market, it took off. It's up 20% from the lows that were set at the beginning of this month. This is another stock that you do not want to short. Let's see in terms of pullbacks, 17%, 18%. The stock is super volatile. Previous points before, if you were buying highs, there's not much money that you can make and you buy highs unless you sit through this huge is get in here. We don't want to get in here. It gave us a temporary relief, but it sold off again here, and it did the same thing here. Okay, so now what we see is that the stock established a higher high after making a lower low. It trades above its previous high, which is right here, and now this is our new high, and we color it green. Okay, we made a lower low on October 31st. From there, for 2 weeks, we rallied and we traded above this level, 472 to 475, which was our previous high, and we closed above this level at 483. This is our new higher high. From here, we're looking for the stock to pull back, hold the lows, even though for this stock it wasn't the truth here, but for us, we would like to see that it holds the lows, and then we'd like to get in for the ride up. One thing that we have to do for NVIDIA is to put in, this is the highest closing price right here. It's right at its highest. Okay, so let's do this because we're so close. It was up 13 points on Friday. So from here for 483, a day and a half, and it could be in its all new time high territory. But as a disciplined and patient trader, you want for the stock to come back. You want it to hold the lows. And from there, you want to get in for the ride up. Again, do not short NVIDIA. Even though it can sell off 70%, you do not want to pick tops in this stock. It's super strong. It's in great environment where its chips are in a high demand. It's beautiful. If you're in it, hang on to it. If you're not, you're going to have to wait for a pullback.